I did get a pretty late start to my morning. It's not even morning. My hair looks like a hot mess and I definitely need to wash it. Please don't judge me with my hair. It looks greasy and gross and I will be washing it soon. In fact, I think I might go spray some stuff on it because you know the wonders of dry shampoo. So I'm gonna pull the bottom of my pajama shirt dress down. I do actually have lingerie on underneath for other reasons, because I will get into that in a second. I'm gonna go like this. I'm gonna go like this for a second. I'm sorry if my Minnie Mouse headband shows through. I am going to spray some. If ever you have dirty, greasy hair, I recommend this. This is Living Proof brand. I think from what I understand, dry shampoo is like starch or something. It's very fragrant though. But I don't have any makeup on. It's like almost, what time is it? It's 2:57 in the afternoon. Yes, this is my bathroom. Ugh. Sometimes I wonder if this is even good for the environment. So the first ingredient is hydrofluorocarbon, and then there's isobutane. It's like aerosols, essentially. But now my hair doesn't look so icky. It was like, if I'm gonna put this on the internet, I'm not gonna have greasy, icky hair. But again, true depiction of my life. This is my shirt dress. I do sleep in this. There is lingerie underneath this, and there's a reason for that. But I'm not gonna show that because that would be inappropriate on YouTube. But I got this on Adore Me. So if you're someone that doesn't really, Adore Me is like basically, if you think of Victoria's Secrets, it's like a more affordable Victoria's Secrets essentially. And yeah, so this is like, so it's made of this material that's like dry wick material. So if you sweat, or it's supposed to keep you cool at night. So as women, fun fact, if you're a man watching this, us women, our body temperatures, especially when we're going through like our menstrual cycle, a menstrual cycle lasts like 28 days total, but it basically you get like hot and cold, like your basal body temperature changes, which reminds me I need to take my temperature for the day. I'm really late on taking my temperature for natural cycles, so I'm on natural birth control. And I actually do, I haven't really tested its effectiveness. If I'm ever intimate with someone, I will let people know, which I'm not going to share the details of out of respect for whoever I'm intimate with. But hopefully I don't end up pregnant. That will be the true test to see if that's a really good birth control. I will say though, you have to be pretty diligent. I wish I had my, oh, okay, wait, here. This is kind of I have it in the trash, but like, so, do I have the little, no. So when you do natural cycles, just a fun fact, if you're a woman and you're contemplating it, let's say you've been on like, I know, because I've been looking into, there's like IUDs, like, I'm just really scared to get an IUD, to be honest, because from what I've heard, it's like super painful and they like don't prescribe like pain medication, and I don't really want like a local anesthetic to my cervix, because they basically like, they would have to, it would hurt so much. They would have to put like a needle where your cervix is to like numb it. I can't do that. That would be so, I can't do that. I just can't. It would be too like, it would be too much. My knee really hurts. I apologize. I sustained a knee injury in high school, and like, I don't even think I can show it, but like basically it's like back here, and it hurts a lot. And I was told in Miami it was either a Baker cyst, and I was told in Virginia it was nerve irritation, like there's nerve fibers. If you're a doctor by chance and you watch this and you're an orthopedic doctor, let me know, because I've been having to do, I also should preface, I was a server for many years in Florida, and being on your feet all the time, it really does a number like on your knees. And I run too, which is frustrating because I love to run and I love to jog, and the impact, so that's like a very, when you think about it, that's like high impact, you know, on your knees. So I try to be mindful of that. But anyways, going back to what I was saying, yes, Adore Me is a service from, or like it's a subsidiary of Victoria's Secrets. They work together, and sometimes if you go on Victoria's Secrets, you'll see stuff from Adore Me on there. It's like, I don't know what, I hear my dog biting on something. Yeah, but I love it. I will say, as someone who did not embrace sex or any of that until a later age, it was really, so they have like a subscription service they call the Elite Box. I'm not subscribed to anymore because I'm not working. I am subscribed to Stitch Fix though, which I actually just got delivered, which I need to put a robe on for to pick up the stuff outside, so I don't look like a total. It's Saturday, so it's like I don't really care. I really stopped caring what people thought. Like, maybe just started that, like, maybe, I don't know, like a week ago. Because sometimes I really did care a lot about what people thought of me. Like, I didn't want to, like, rock the boat or be mean to people, and like I would silence myself or repress what I really thought about things because I did not want to go against other people's thoughts and opinions, because I like things to be copacetic. I'm not someone who likes conflict too much. Even though I will say, though, I do stand up, like, when it comes to integrity and honesty, I will stand up for that, like, 100%. But yeah, my Stitch Fix came. I really can't afford it, I know this, but, like, I'm very future-oriented thinking, and, like, my thing is, like, so when you talk about law of attraction and manifestation, you focus on what you want, not what you don't want. You don't focus on lack, you focus on, like, attracting that which, you know, like, I don't know how to describe. Like, basically, you don't focus, like, you don't beat the drum of, like, your current narrative. Like, let's say your current narrative sucks. Like, for me, you could say, oh, I'm not working, blah, 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 whatever. What I do is, like, I focus on, like, I don't treat it like, okay, I'm poor, I'm broke, whatever. No, I'm going to say, this is where I am now, but it's going to change. And then I'm going to do the steps I need, even though I'm really late in starting my day. It's literally it's 3 o'clock in the afternoon. But there's also a reason for that. I was having, when you want to talk about, I'm going to kneel down because it's just easier. When you want to talk about dating and stuff, and I tell myself, I'm like, I hope I'm doing the right thing when it comes to this stuff, because sexy hormones and all that, they, like, really throw you for a loop, because when you find someone attractive, you end up, like, you know, and you have a good chemistry with them and vibe with them. It's just the trusting part that's really hard. But, like, yeah, like, I did meet, I haven't really met him yet, but, like, we did match on Bumble, and, like, we have really good chemistry, sexual chemistry. Yeah, I haven't done anything yet with this person, and I'm not gonna say his name because that's out of respect for him. Hopefully that is his real name. I've really gone back in life. I'm like, the people I've matched with, I'm like, sometimes I go, why would someone give you a different name? You know, maybe if someone's married or if they have a girlfriend, maybe they would do that. But, like, anyways, so yeah, we were kind of up really late. I've never actually, like, done a virtual sleepover with someone, and we kind of did that, so that was pretty cool. Actually, no, I take it back. I did it once with someone, and he lived in Canada, allegedly. And yeah, it's really amazing how, like, I don't know, for me, in my opinion, when you, like, and mind you, I'm sitting over my sink. I'm literally crouched over my sink, like, saying this. For me, and I don't know how other people feel, and I know I don't have a lot of people following or whatever, which is okay. Like, I always say, as long as I touch the life of one person, I'm happy. But for other people, I don't know if you feel like, or women or men, like, for me, so there's a term called sapiosexual, which basically means that, like, you don't feel physically attracted to someone unless you have, like, a excuse me, like a like an intellectual or, like, emotional connection. Usually intellectual. Sapiosexual means, like, you have to have an intellectual connection with someone in order to be attracted to them. And for me, it's like, the closer I am to someone, like, if I get to really know them, the more I'm like, panties will drop, and, like, it sounds so true, but it's true. The more physically attracted I am to them. I hope that makes sense. Or sexually attracted, because anyone could have sex with each other, but, like, I think if you want to have, and I should do a video on this, I think, and I don't know if I could say I've had enough sex to say what's really good sex and what's whatever. I think I talked about this in a recent video, I'm not sure. But, like, to me, if you have, like, when you really care about someone, and, like, and you don't have to be in love with them, but, like, you just, you know, like, you have a good vibe and good rapport, I think it makes the sex 10 times better, because anyone can fuck each other, right? Anybody can. You can, like, right? I mean, look at hookers and prostitutes. They're like, hey, you're attractive, you know, on the street, and that's kind of, like, too much. I would never do that. But I'm holding this in my hands for a reason. I was going to talk about natural cycles. But yeah, I was up. We did, like, a virtual sleepover thing. I keep telling myself, I want to remind myself, you know, there's also, you get excited and giddy when you talk to someone, especially if they're attractive or whatnot and you have good chemistry. But part of me is like, you want to remain level-headed and grounded, because what happens is, there's that Taylor Swift song, you know, called Red, where basically it's the idea that you like, because things can end the same way they start. Like if you start something really fast with someone and there's a lot of like amorous feelings and blah blah blah, it could literally end and plummet and crash and burn. And then, you know, and then if you share too much in the beginning with someone, all like the mystery is gone. So it's like, I just spit phlegm out, I'm sorry. I have postnasal drip, so I like basically I accumulate phlegm. It's like the back of my throat and my nose, and it comes down my like my esophagus, and you know, so yeah, mucus, exciting. So yeah, those are my thoughts about that today. But like I said, I'm wearing lingerie, and I tell myself, I'm like, I hope I'm not being too forward. I don't know, sometimes I get excited, and if the vibes are there with someone, it's just, you have to be careful. Like, you are the captain of the ship. Both people are. When you're interested in someone, I think you both, if you're on the same page, you'll feel it or whatever. But at the same time, you know, you have to remind yourself, as a woman, men will say anything to get you into bed, and vice versa. Women, you know, I'm wholly responsible for what I do with another person. So, you know, if I wear lingerie and I want to look cute or tease someone or whatever, you know, you have to be mindful, you know, because you don't want things to, you start off hot and heavy and then they just, you know. For me, I've had it where that has happened, and then you do things too quick, and then either you sleep with someone and then the next day they're like, poof, it's like gone ghost, because I guess they, you know, they got what they wanted. And it's hard as a woman navigating that, especially if you're an empathic, intuitive person like me, or just empath period. You actually like, you know, like you feel the vibes, and then you're like, oh, this is good, whatever. And then you end up like, you think the best of people, and you're like, oh, no, they won't hurt me, they won't leave me, whatever, because they say they won't. But really what I've learned is go by actions. Someone can say, I'll text you, whatever, and they have to back it by action. That's what integrity is, when your words and actions align. So, and I'm not being picky, this is just maturity. So if you're someone and you're watching and you're like, how do I navigate, like, not sleeping with someone? Because here's the thing, sleeping, I've told you, my thing is, because I've had family members say, yeah, but you're sleeping with someone like on the first date. Well, I look at it like, if you're talking to someone, right, and you're building rapport and you're on the phone, and to this, in this day and age, I look at FaceTime, when you do FaceTime with someone, 1A, you're checking to see if they are who they say they are. Because I've literally dated guys, or not even dated, I've met guys and matched with them. They came to my door and they were nothing like what, at all, like what they said they, like, they look somewhat like the person, but it's like they have a doppelganger. And I'm like, and I should have held back and refrained and been like, I'm not getting in the car with you. And I'm not kidding. I've had moments where I go, oh my God, am I going to be trafficked? I'm not kidding. Like, literally, I'd sensed weird chemicals and stuff in the car, and I'm like, oh my God, I'm going to be trafficked. I'm not going to exist after whatever. And by the grace of God, I feel like I am very divinely protected, and I'm like, okay. I'm like, thank you, God. I'm like, thank you, Jesus. I'm like, you know, you got me. Thank goodness, you know, like, they got me back, my back. So yeah, be careful, be mindful, you know, because, and also who you share your body with. I'm learning this in therapy. It's like, you are responsible with who you share your body with. And one thing I will say is, I'm not a parent, so I don't know this. I will say I've worked with kids. I've taken care of kids as a teacher, like early childhood educator and child life specialist. But they weren't my children. I don't know how I would feel. I try to put myself in like a parent's perspective. And I can see how parents would be like, yeah, but you don't want to hook up with someone right away because, you know, guys, I've learned this. Men will say anything to get you into bed because that's just the way it is, you know. And women too. I can't say, oh no, it's just men. No, women will do the same thing. Women are very like cunning and like seductive. And I remind myself, I don't want to be like that, because I get, when I'm in the presence of a man, I get like excited, right? Because I started dating and being sexually active later on in life, so like I get really excited and I'm like, oh my God, you know, muscles and you know, bare-chested man, you know, like I turn into like a 12-year-old girl basically. And I have to remind myself that as a woman, especially trying to be a divine feminine, not like a karmic ass, you know, poser bitch woman, like a woman who knows herself, who's self-assured, who's mature, like cognitively, emotionally, spiritually, sexually, all of that, right? Because that's what a divine feminine is. When you're mature and you have emotional intelligence and you demonstrate that, that's what a divine feminine is. So I remind myself that as a woman, I do carry that divine femininity in me, and I want to make sure that I do not mistreat it and abuse it, because the same way I could be very forward with someone and I don't want to push their boundaries, right? I want to be respectful of their boundaries. So for me, I've just noticed like you do have that, because women have that, right? We're the way that we were built, God built us, we have, you know, women have, I don't know about the same men, but like we have very supple skin, and, you know, our breasts are made a certain way, and, you know, they can look either perky, or if you're older, maybe they're a little saggy. I don't know. But, you know, but we are made that way. And if in heterosexual relationships, or homosexual ones too, let's not discriminate, right? Because women that like women, they're attracted to their bodies. The men that like men, they're attracted to their, it's whatever. It's attraction. I'm not going to, whatever. So we were made in a way to be pleasing, right, to the human eye. If sex wasn't supposed to be pleasurable, like we wouldn't want to do it, right? So in that token, I think we have to owe it to ourselves. If you want to be someone who's emotionally, sexually, cognitively, mentally mature, like physically, you have to know what you have to offer in your power, so in your divine femininity and your divine masculinity, because if you abuse it, that's not fair, you know, because I've heard stories where women take advantage of other men, you know, and they use their body to get a certain reaction or keep a man hooked, right? It's or the same way a man can give because men know that women, we're very emotional creatures. They're very like turned on by physical, like visceral stimuli, right? Women, if you tell, like if a man tells a woman, oh, I'm so attracted to you, you're the most amazing person you ever met, I love your whatever, I like the compliment, whatever, they're building them up. Women are gonna be like, like, you know, it's like the biggest turn on. Whereas a man, if I told a man like, oh, I want to grab your dick, you know, whatever, and suck on you, you know, they're gonna be like more stimulated that way. So you have to be mindful, right? And some people are very manipulative, right? And they know exactly what to say and what to do to turn on a person. And that power, manipulation, it's so, you just have to be careful, you know, because there are people that will abuse that, right? And as a woman, I remind myself, I'm like, yes, I have my breasts, I have my body and my whatever, and I don't want to use that as a way, you know, I really do wholeheartedly. I'm being very vulnerable, because I notice I go, if I wear lingerie, it's like, and I like to, you know, sometimes dress up in lingerie, and if I'm talking to someone I'm attracted to, I'll be like, oh, you know, let me dress up for you, because I'm trying to keep, you know, the spark and the spiciness going. But at the same token, you have, as a woman, if you're a woman watching this, covet that and respect it, because if you meet a nice guy, you don't want to take advantage of that, because he's gonna like fall like putty, right? Like men, like I said, they're very visual creatures. They're like, it's visceral, so they go by like the look and whatever. And if you're a gay man and you're watching this, be mindful of your partner. Maybe you're more of like, you know, I do know, like I think in gay relationships there's the more masculine energy and feminine energy. I believe that. I think in every homosexual relationship, from what I've studied, I did study gender norms in my master's program, and then also women's studies in my undergrad at FIU. And from what I understand, there is like kind of this male-female dynamic carried in homosexual relationships. I hate to say homosexual, it sounds so like technical, but you know, same sex, that sounds better. It's like homosexual, it's like, so in same-sex relationships, it's the same thing, right? There's the male, female, and I think one person carries one energy over the other, and you have to, even those people, you have to be careful, because your partner, even if you're in same-sex relations, it can control you. Doesn't matter if you're gay, straight, bi. It's about knowing your power. And, you know, there might be women who, let's say there's the more masculine energy, you could say butch energy, right? And then you have the female. The female energy might try to entice the male energy, whatever, with what, you know? So, and keep them hooked. And she might be off sleeping with, God knows, maybe men too. She may be lying to her partner and being like, oh, you know. So you have to just be mindful. I think everyone has to be mindful of the power, the sexual power or prowess they have within them. And I think it's something, being a woman who did start later, I have learned and discovered, like, you have to be like, you have to be mindful of that, because there are good people out there, and they will, like, they'll eat that up and they'll be like, oh my God, I want more. Or other people will be like, I'm so used to this, it's, you know. So, but anyways, I pulled this out of my trash can, because I do natural cycles, and I was talking about birth control. I never know when I do a morning thing, a morning vlog, what I'm gonna end up talking about, because I just talk about my day or what I'm feeling. But yeah, this takes your, like, you have to do the ovulation and stuff. You have to pee on a stick, or urinate, I should say, on this stick. It kind of looks like this. It looks like this. See, this is positive for ovulation, which means I'm not pregnant, thank goodness. So, because I'm not looking to get pregnant anytime soon. So we will see. Let's see if actually, if I'm intimate with somebody, I'm not going to give the details of that, but we'll see if it actually works. Granted, it does tell you when to use like protection and stuff, or like abstain from sex, like if you're fertile. So I do, like, I have to be mindful. If I meet somebody and I'm interested in them and we get to the point where we want to be intimate, you need to be mindful. Like, that's where responsibility comes in, and discipline. Because like, let's say if I have sex with someone and I know that I'm in my fertile window, that's super risky. So I have to be mindful. And just putting a little PSA there, a true gentleman will never push you to do anything you don't want to do. Like, they will be respectful, even if they're like horny as all shit and they're like super hard and erect and whatever. Or if it's same thing, or if you're in a same-sex relationship, even though I think with women it's a little bit easier because there's no sperm, or like with men it's the same thing, there's no ovum, right? So, but either way, just like, if you're in a heterosexual relationship, right, so like, be mindful, because like, if you end up having sex and it's in your fertile window and the guy knows this, a true gentleman will be respectful. Like, he'll be like, okay, because he'll say, I don't want to get her pregnant, right? Because then if they get her pregnant, then he's responsible for child support. It's a long winding road with that one. Child support, baby wipes, diapers, schooling, let's say childcare, daycare, all of that stuff. So yeah, but I'm going to go now and get my, hi baby, my Bonnie is, this is what my bed looks like right now. It looks like a hot mess, right? Again, this is my life. I am really hot though, like, it's hot wearing this thing. My underwear's on the floor. No one was here, so it was just me, but I just forgot to put this in the dirty clothes. This is my dirty clothes hamper, goes in the dirty clothes. So I did make really good black beans and rice last night. If no one has ever had black beans and rice, Cuban food, there's actually a place in Burlington it's Santiago's Cuban Cuisine. I did a Yelp review about it. If you're on Yelp, go check out I don't know what my Yelp page is. I'm gonna turn on the lights. Well, maybe I'll keep them off for now. It looks so overcast outside. So it's supposed to apparently rain tomorrow. And I didn't know there's like this festival or something going on in my city in St. Albans. It's called like the Maple something festival. Hi, what do you want? You want water? What do you want? I think she drinks a ton of water. Sometimes I wonder if she's diabetic, I will say though, she does eat, so I know she doesn't have a fever. She feels a lot better. I think her lumps and her bumps or whatever are fatty deposits, which tells me I can't overfeed her, because maybe, who knows, maybe, I don't know. The human body, the canine body is very miraculous. I'm just grabbing the water. I'm also contemplating whether I should get a Brita filter, because I spend a lot of money on bottled water. Why? I don't know. I feel like tap water sometimes. So when I was in Philadelphia, there was an oil spill or something, and basically, like, let me put this here. There was an oil spill. I can't put this up. There was an oil spill, and literally latex got in it was in the Delaware River, and it got in the water. I'm giving this is my routine every morning. It's not morning, it's afternoon. But there was a latex spill in the, like, are you gonna have your water now? Okay, she's having her water. She's like, I'm so thirsty. Yeah, there was a latex spill, and I legit, when I was taking a shower, I'm allergic to latex, so one day, I swear to God, I was taking a shower in Philadelphia at the building I was staying at called Riverwalk, that I was leasing at, I should say. Why is it so hot in here? Oh, the heater's on. Good Lord. And yes, there's a paper towel on the floor, because she, like, I don't know, she vomited. It was like clear liquid, so I think she was hungry. This was yesterday, so whatever, I'm gonna pick it up after. And this is my pee-pee pad. This is another in terms of like adulting and responsibilities. I need to clean her pee-pee pad too. And I did have stuff come, so I don't know what. There's a bunch of cars outside. I don't know if they're doing construction or something, or what the deal is. There's like a horse trailer and stuff. I don't even know what that's about. I don't know. Don't want to know either. There's parts of me that I'm like, I want to be antisocial and I don't want to talk to anybody. But anyways, yes, there was latex in the water, and I literally had like an allergic reaction on my body. Like I have the photos of it to this day, and I'm like, that's why sometimes I get really skeptical to drink water from the sink. But then also you think about it, you don't really know what goes in bottled water, and then with PFAs and like there's stuff that can get into the, like BPA, it can get into the plastic, because yeah, it's like, I feel like it's inevitable sometimes when you come to health and wellness, you're like, you want to be so careful and cautious with stuff, but like, yeah. So, anyways, I am going to grab, oh, this is what I was going to show. This is my kitchen. I made rice and beans, and I did not want to clean it up. You can't really see the splatter. There's literally splatter everywhere. And I did not want to clean this as well, but it came out really nice though. It came out super, super good. It came out more the consistency of soup. Sometimes it comes out thicker, so I realized you have to use more broth, like chicken broth, if you make black beans. It's frijoles negros and arroz blanco. So I am going to grab, I think I'm going to get dressed, so I don't really want to go outside with like, there's a bunch of like, basically like trucks and stuff. There's never that many trucks. There's like a horse trailer. I don't know if you can kind of see, there's that, right? Can we go that? So yeah, I'm not really like, I don't know what that's about. I don't really talk to my neighbors. I talk to one of the people next door. But like, I don't know. I feel honestly, I feel like a fish out of water here. Like Vermont and I really wanted to like Vermont. I really do. And it's, that's what makes it hard too, because I want to date and I want to meet people, but it's like, you know, I want to like stay true like to what I want to do. And Vermont didn't feel, it started to feel like home a little bit, and then weird stuff started happening again when you talk about bullying and stuff. So I like basically was just like, I don't know. Sometimes this is why I tell myself, I'm like, maybe I should go abroad, because I'm like, maybe I would like Europe more, maybe I'd like Asia more, maybe I'd like New Zealand, maybe I'd like Australia. I don't know, there's so much world to see. But granted, my funds are I'm basically almost broke. So hoping, you know, something sticks with jobs and work and stuff. And it's frustrating because when I'm passionate about something, I am a hard worker. So I really do want to like, you know, it's like I wish people that were recruiters would give people leeway, you know, like they would give them grace and be like, you know what, I'm going to take a chance on this person. I'm going to get some more Cocoa Puffs. And yes, I do eat cereal that a child would eat. I migrate from like Honey Nut Cheerios to like regular Cheerios to Cocoa Puffs. So, yeah, I know. And it's actually really bad for you. The ingredients are whole grain corn, sugar, rice flour, cornmeal, corn syrup, a lot of corn, canola sunflower oil, color, salt, baking soda, but then it goes vitamins, minerals, calcium phosphate, calcium, so yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna pour, I have my favorite bowl of all time. I forgot where I got it. I think I got it at Target, but it has cute little flowers on it. I did have some, it's funny, once you put the milk in it, it literally looks like chocolate milk. Right? I know, you're hungry, you're probably gonna, I'm trying to be also mindful of what I did my dog, because I don't want her to be overweight, because that happens, and I end up giving her food, and then maybe it might not agree with her because I spoil her, so yeah. I'm gonna plop this here, and then I'm gonna add some milk. I also realized that I think I'm lactose intolerant because I've been having regular milk lately, and it upsets my stomach, and it like produces phlegm and mucus and stuff, so I try to get like lactose-free milk and grass-fed milk, because when you think about it, even though it's like counterintuitive that I'm eating cereal primarily based with corn, and I'm like, I don't want to eat corn-fed beef, I don't want to eat corn-fed, like, you know, like the cows, because, you know, it's just not that healthy. So I have my, mind you, yes, it is almost 4 in the afternoon, and I'm in a robe, and I'm eating Cocoa Puffs. This is my life. Another thing, another little tidbit of information, a lesson, I'm going to place this here for people. Hi, baby. So, if you are someone and you're dating, like me, or you're trying to, are you smelling my back? What are you doing? Are you smelling my back? I think she was like nuzzling her face in my back. So I learned, so with dogs, you want to be able to see, like, they have the belly here, you want to see the hump, like, their rib cage, this needs to be more prominent and needs to be like a swoop. So if you don't see the swoop, your dog is overweight, and you don't want that. So I learned that you want to, so because I'm kind of new with dating and whatnot, and I still get excited about sexy time and stuff with people. I call it sexy time because it's just, to me it is, it's sexy time, right? So, what? I love you. Yeah, I try to be mindful, because when you're really excited about dating somebody and all this, the prospect of sex and all this stuff, I remind myself I need to stay focused and grounded and focus on my priorities, because it can all just go out the window, and you don't want to do that. So I think if you have maturity, if you're a mature individual, an adult, you'd be able to balance, you know, dating, your work, and whatever. And I'm not working right now, but still, I want to be mindful, and I want to be, you know, like this I realized, I was like, and that comes from me, that comes with boundaries. Like if I am dating someone, I need to be more like disciplined and say, hey, I'm gonna go to bed at this time, because I know that if I'm tired, some people, I've learned, some people, if they get like no sleep, they're able to carry on their day. They drink a Monster energy drink, they drink caffeine or whatever, and they are just like a 5-hour energy shot, and boom, they're out, right? For me, I need that sleep. I need, not say beauty rest, but I need that, because for me, that's just me, you know, I need my sleep, I need my time to rejuvenate my body and my cells and my skin and all that. So, you know, other people, so if you're in the process and you're dating someone, you're getting to know someone and it's exciting and all that stuff, just be mindful, because like, if you're not careful, you can like fall into a pattern of like you neglect your other responsibilities and things, and because it's exciting, right, when you date someone and maybe you're going to be intimate and all that, and you know, you just want to be careful, you know, because, and this might sound selfish, but you come first, meaning like, I don't know, that sounds bad in terms of sex, like you come, but no, like you put yourself, like you, self-care, like you need to put yourself first. And the thing is too, is I think sometimes people, we get overly excited at the beginning of a connection with somebody, because you're like, oh my god, right? And then you start to rearrange your whole life, and like you're like, okay, whatever. No, like until someone shows you that you can trust them, that they follow through, that they're gonna be, you know, like honest with you and whatever, then you can start considering yourself as like a twosome, or like a team, or like a relationship, or with someone. Because I think in the beginning, especially after a day of knowing someone, if you're already like, oh my god, you know, that's not realistic. Also too, I thought about it. Are you eating your food? I also thought about it, and is it considered cheating or sinful if you like, you're starting to develop a relationship, or starting to get to know someone, let's say on a date, whether dating app or not, and you talk or whatever, is it sinful if you go like after that conversation, whatever, and you you still are active on the apps, or you're still actively meeting people, like would it be wrong for you to like go out and talk to other people, like get to know other people? No. I think unless someone has a discussion with you and they're like, oh, I want to be exclusive with you and only you because I like you and I want it to be just us, then you can start to say, okay, maybe I'll consider putting a halt on like, you know, meeting other people and getting to know other people. But until then, because I thought about it, and I woke up and I was like, should I go? Because I did talk to someone for a long time last night, and I was like, should I stop going on the apps and like looking up people, or like swiping or whatever? And no, I don't think so. Because why, you know, if you put all your eggs in one basket after just talking to someone after a day, that's not realistic. It's not really fair, and it's not fair to him, it's not fair to me. So I think until someone, this is just my little tidbit of advice in the morning, until someone shows you that they truly, genuinely, like they're like, I want to be exclusive with you, and I really like you, and I would, you know, maybe someone says, oh, I feel jealous if you talk to other people. Well, also jealousy is not a good thing. I will say that, especially if a guy or a girl is, if you're a man watching this, if a girl ever tells you like, I'm jealous if you talk to other women, and it's only been a day after you talk to them, or 2 days or 3 days, bro, run like hell, because that means that person is going to be overly possessive of you and controlling of you. And it's the truth. If you've only talked to someone for 2 or 3 days and they're like, I don't want you to be with anyone, like, no, like, get to know people. I remember there was a friend, I'm not friends with her anymore. She was someone I was friends with in Pennsylvania, and she told me like, you don't want to put all your eggs in one basket just for like one person, because you could be missing out on somebody else. Because you could, like there could be a really great person, and maybe you get to know people incrementally, but like my thing is, until someone shows you that they're like, I am in it for you. That's what dating is, right? You get to know different people. Maybe it doesn't mean you sleep with all of them at the same time. That would be kind of really risky, like sexually. That's like if let's say I'm talking to someone now, and like let's say we hook up or we're intimate, and then I match with someone else later on, and then I hook up with them. That's like, I don't think that's right, because that's really sexually risky, and you could get pregnant, you could get STD, HIV, whatever. So for me, that's how I see it. And maybe other people don't, but if anybody ever, like, I just intuitively, I got this download. I'm like, if anybody ever coerces you or says, I only want to talk to you, and I've had this, guys, and innocently I'm like, oh, no, don't, like, no. You are, whether a man or woman, you have a right to date as you please. If you want to go on an app, but I do think, here's the thing though, you want to be honest and transparent. So if you are talking to someone and the vibes are going well, and they're like, oh, I really value our time together. My dog's licking my legs. I really value your time together, like our time together in our conversations, and I really like you, and I would love, I know maybe it's too soon to say, but I'm, interested in you, maybe like the long term or whatever. That's okay, because they're wearing, and I appreciate that. If a guy does that and he wears his heart on his sleeve, and he's like, because he's being honest, right? That takes especially, let me tell you, if a man tells you that, bro, they are being really vulnerable, because men do not talk like that. They're very closed off. They don't express. If you meet a man who's very emotionally expressive, do yourself a favor, like keep him around, just to, whatever. But, if it gets to the point where someone's love bombing you, you don't want that, because that means that they're going to have this grip on your life, and God forbid, like let's say you get married to someone, like whatever, and they have possessive, jealous tendencies. Let's say a guy looks at you, you're at the supermarket, right? And a guy looks at you, he doesn't know that you're married or you're in a relationship, and he just looks at you, or he flirts with you. The type of guy that is very short-tempered and possessive and controlling will basically be like, don't ever look at that man. There's a really good movie with Anna Kendrick. I forgot what it's called, but it's with Anna Kendrick, and basically he's super possessive of her, and he almost to the point where he's abusive, and that's the scary part. If a man ever gets, because what happens is they'll act outwardly, and they'll be very demonstrative, and that's scary. That's domestic abuse. So people always show you in the beginning their tendencies. Be mindful also too, in the beginning, people are going to put their best foot forward. It's going to be like the honeymoon phase. They're going to make the best impression. So just, be smart. Dating tips from a former 32-year-old virgin, which if you don't, you can take it and leave it. I mean, I don't identify myself as someone who was a 30. Like I'm so much more than my sexuality, virginity, whatever. I need to pick up my packages because it's literally raining outside. I was gonna do a fashion show and show my. Are you eating your toy? Are you eating your toy? She has her tail wagging. Are you eating your little flower power toy? Or are you eating a bunny? You're playing with the bunny? Sheila, I miss her getting her bark box. This is why I want to work, because I can't afford the things that I know she likes. Because I know she likes the bark box, right? Do you like the bark box? She loves bark box. I have videos, actually, if you want to check out videos of her opening a bark box, or me opening a bark box. Right? Why are you giving me these puppy dog eyes? Okay, I need to go grab. I'm just nervous to go outside in a robe, and I'm at the end of the day I can be fuck it. But there's literally 1, 2, 3. There's a pickup truck, there's another truck, and a red van, and then this horse trailer. I've never seen a horse trailer outside. I've seen them on the road when I've driven on the highway, but I've never seen one opposite. And I don't know what's going. Maybe there's an event or something. Oh, maybe it's for the thing tomorrow. There is the event tomorrow, which I hope it kind of happens, because it would be kind of fun to go to a festival or whatever, because I don't do anything here. I'm confined to the space around me. This is my desk, and this is my new happy wall. I made a happy wall because I think everyone deserves a happy wall, because when you look at it, it makes you happy. So, yeah. So, I'm going to, maybe I'll do the Stitch Fix thing I don't know. How long are we at? 39 minutes? I would need to take a shower though. I don't know. Let me just, you know what I'll do? I'll tie the robe. Bonnie thinks we're going outside. Hold on. I'll put this here. I'm gonna tie the robe. Please disregard the snowman in the corner. I got this robe at Target in Philadelphia like 2 years ago. It is so comfy. Comfy. What? I look like I'm going to a spa or a sauna. Even though these people are gonna be like, what? Why is she wearing a robe? But you know what? Fuck it. At the end of the day, you have to say fuck it. Because the thing is, if you care too much about what people think, you're gonna be in a mental prison. And that's not fair. Like, when you die on your deathbed, are you gonna be like, oh, I went outside in a robe and then they thought I was weird? Like, who gives a fuck? I'm not gonna know these people in 5 years. The dudes across the street. I'm not gonna know my neighbor, like, in a year. I guarantee I'm not gonna remember those people. I mean, I do think you should be kind to people, like be cordial and polite and whatever, but like if you give too much, because I used to do that. Growing up, I used to care so much about what people thought about, like, not in the sense of like vanity, but like I never wanted to hurt anyone's feelings. So I would adjust my behavior, my actions to make other people happy. Don't do that. So, oh my God, the door was open. Holy shit. My door was unlocked. I didn't realize my door was unlocked. I'm gonna leave this here. Actually, I can't carry the, maybe I'll put it like this. I'm gonna pause it, I'm gonna put it here. So, I do have my robe on. But whatever, it doesn't matter. Oh my goodness, oh, it's really Excuse me. Excuse me. See, and I think everyone was in the day outside anyway. Like, not outside, but inside. So, that's it. It is raining, though. Okay, so she thinks it's BarkBox. She thinks it's BarkBox, but it's not BarkBox. It's actually Stitch Fix, and it did get all wet. I don't know what this is. I don't remember what I ordered. Oh, maybe it's the Tide Pods. So I'm gonna put my barricade back on my door. This is the sad excuse for a safety barricade, but you know what? It does its job. Because if anyone did come in, they would have to go through this whole mess of a box, right? So I will do the Stitch Fix unboxing in a second. This is like one of my favorite things because the reason why I still get Stitch Fix and I am unemployed and I am kind of broke, it sounds silly, but part of me feeling normal is like I know, like when I go through Stitch Fix, and if you go through this, if you're in a period of your life where you're not where you are, where you want to be financially, again, I'm very big on energy and vibes and putting good vibes out there. So, you know, mindful, I'm not going to spend, if something's $100, like as a one thing, I never will spend over like $60 for one article of clothing, ever. I don't care if I was a millionaire, I still wouldn't do it. That's just me, you know. But I do Stitch Fix and stuff while unemployed or broke or whatever, because I'm not close to any malls or anything here. I just found out yesterday that there's a Walmart nearby. I did not know this. My dog is licking, or smelling the whole box. I didn't know that there's a Walmart nearby, but there's a TJ Maxx. That's really it. There's no like shopping malls here. That's why I said if you're 33 or you're younger or whatever, don't move to a small town. I only did that because I needed like solidarity and I needed peace, and you know, I didn't want to be near anybody because I was really scared for my life. So anyways, but I still get like my Stitch Fix thing because that's the closest I get to shopping, literally. Like, so what they do is basically they have a stylist and they curate clothes for you. They give you like 5 or 6 articles of clothing or accessories, purses, whatever. I'm basically doing a PSA for Stitch Fix. And I love it. There was a coworker who told me about Stitch Fix years ago when I was working with Chris. And when I first tried it out, they gave me really bad stuff. I didn't care for it at all. And then it was very matronly. And I guess over time they were able to get different vendors and like stores and stuff to participate in it. And I don't know, for me, it makes me just like feel like I'm going shopping, like I'm at a mall. Not really, but like my dog is, I don't know, She's playing with her. Oh, Jesus, Bonnie. Okay, anyways, so, yeah, I do it because it's fun, and, like, yeah. It makes me feel kind of, like, normal, you know. I don't know what they're doing. I'm so curious. This is where I'm, like, being nosy. I'm so curious to know what. Maybe they're doing construction or something. I don't know. But, yeah. So I do that because it makes me feel normal. They have an app. You download the app. You take a quiz, and they basically pinpoint your style. Apparently, I'm carefree casual. I don't know. That's what it says. I like casual clothes, but like not so ritzy, glamorous stuff, but more easygoing stuff and stuff that I can pair with different things. And they actually give you, which I love, they give you a preview of the clothes like to choose from, and then if you choose like 8 or more items or whatever, they give you like a discount. I don't know. Anyways, but you pay a fee of $20 monthly, and then that fee the styling fee is deducted from whatever you end up choosing or taking home or buying or whatever. But yeah, I still get it sometimes, even if I'm like, my funds are low and I'm unemployed, because it makes me feel kind of like normal. Like it doesn't make me feel like, and people, you might be like, oh my God, you're a shopaholic. Not really. I do save stuff like on Amazon. I put stuff on my wish list, like I favorite it, but doesn't mean I'm gonna buy it right away. But I will, yeah, like I'll go ahead, and I still have the app, and then you get to, so every day they give you a new rotation of clothes to click through, and I guess that helps the algorithm figure out your style even more. But they show like pieces of like a bodysuit, and then they show like jeans, and then they have like it's almost like when you're on a dating app and they have a thumbs up and thumbs down, and then you get to swipe and be like, oh, I like this one, or I don't like this one. And I guess it helps a stylist curate the box for you. And then what's really cool is that you can customize it and personalize it and say, hey, I want this and this shirt. And I've gotten some really cute stuff. And also they do have stuff on sale. I got this backpack. I got some really cute kids shoes with like little gold embellishments. And then I got this backpack. It looks kind of, this is an Adidas backpack. I also got, hold on, it's like this. So this is my Adidas backpack. It has a side pocket. I feel like I feel like one of those people, that like when they're on Amazon and they're like the influencers and they're like, oh, you have to buy this, because it's like, you know, and I'm so not an influencer at all. So, but I'm just, you know, if you're someone, if you have been watching my channel and following my story, my journey, you know, I try to do things that, you know, if it helps me, then I'm hoping it'll help you. And yes, I have a purse. I'm wearing it on my shoulder. This is my other Stitch Fix purse. It's like it's like a clutch. So look how cute this is. This is something I'd see at like Nordstrom back in Florida. It's a crossbody bag. So you can like go like this and wear it like this. No, I would never walk out in public with a robe like this, but it actually, so it goes like that. And maybe I'll make a Stitch Fix unboxing video, probably. But I need to get all made up and not look like a ghost right now, you know, so, you know. I'm gonna put this like this, and that goes there. And, yeah. So I'm gonna put my milk back. When I said ghost, it made me think of like, oh, Washington. See, this is also the other side of dating. You connect with someone, and then you have a great conversation, and they are liable to ghost you. So you have to be very emotionally resilient and mentally tough, because literally that could happen. Like someone could literally like be like they're very all into you one day, and then the next, and you sharing intimate moments and whatever and vulnerabilities, and the next day they go ghost. So be prepared, be mindful. That's why I always say, like, keep your options open, because, it may seem really hunky-dory and wonderful one minute, and then the next minute you're, like, wondering, where the fuck did they go? So, yeah. So, those are my thoughts for today, the thoughts for the late afternoon day. It is pretty dreary, like, and rainy. Not dreary, just, there's ebbs and flows with weather, but this is what it looks like right now outside. Stick season, right? Stick season at the core. And yeah, I do have, I will say, I hopefully will be moving forward with some interviews for jobs and stuff. I want to remind myself to stay level-headed and grounded, you know, because, you know, you want to, life, there's everything ebbs and flows, and we have positive moments that are really wonderful, and then we have not so great moments. And the beauty about life is that, you know, it's ever changing, it's fluctuating, but we need to, one, like I said, give ourselves grace, and you need to employ the coping strategies that you need, because they're there. You know, if people say that there aren't, they are there. So, you know, and if you're someone who hasn't had coping strategies and you've never met a child life specialist before, you met me virtually through my channel. So I hope my coping strategies can help you in some way. I did do a video on it. I realized I didn't add a list. It didn't have that many views yet, but like I talked about mental health and stigmas, and like how you can overcome anxiety and depression, or how I overcame anxiety and depression and stuff. I can't say that I'm fully healed yet, and it takes a lot for me to say that, but yeah. So my dog is very insistent on playing with her. This is one of the, what is she? It's like a beaver. It's like this really heavy beaver toy. When I say beaver, for some reason it reminds me of like the lady parts, the hoo-has. the lady bits. I call sexy parts lady bits and man bits. It just makes it easier versus being like penis, vagina. Even though those are normal terms to say. So, but anyways, yeah, I hope my words again can help somebody, and this is my life. It's not perfect. I like to say there's a thing, bruised but not broken. And kind of that's how I see myself. I'm bruised, but I'm not broken. So if you're someone who's gone through struggles in life and traumas, you may be bruised, but you're not broken. So, you know, give yourself grace and relish in that. And life is a journey, and choose people who choose you.